When it comes to research and storytelling, I think like co-creation and collaboration is very important. And I think that comes from, like the background that when I was studying the master's in anthropology, and like we have like a lot of texts that maybe were very, like aligned with this I don't know how to put it so people don't get offended, but there is like this kind of like, okay, the anthropologist has the knowledge and they go into the communities to just in a way also extract their knowledge, right? And there is this, like it's always like this academic way of thinking that it's been based on, like a system that has been done for years. So when it comes to, like the academic side of, like when it comes to research and all this in anthropology, it's always been based on, well, I have the knowledge and I'm going to go and do research and show them what this knowledge is. But then when, like I went to the community, it's really not that way, because in a way they are showing you their knowledge. You're there just to learn from them. You're not there to show them anything. And like when we say like there's like many, like many texts or many like instances where we say, well, like we are speaking or we're giving voice to the communities or we giving voice to X person. And I don't think we're giving anybody's voice, because we all have a voice, and our role as storytellers or as investigators or researchers are to amplify those voices, which is, like completely different than giving a voice, because I feel like we all have voices. We all, are able to speak up for ourselves, for each other. And it comes to when it comes to communities, you know, now more than ever, they are, like speaking up for each other, speaking up for themselves. And we're there just as allies, right? We're not there to show them anything. We're not there to, extract their knowledge. Like if what I encountered when I went into the community and like the barriers that were related to like speaking up or like telling their own stories, it was more because of history of people going in and like taking photographs or documenting them and then returning to, like their homelands or the place where they live and never coming back. And it was this thing of, like I said, it was like extracting, leaving, and then, like they are forgotten, because like the people that went in already got the job or already got the work that they went to do. So there wasn't, and there was this, I feel like maybe before it was different, and maybe before, like there was um, this like they will give you more communication or more of their part. But then like everyone else, right? Like if, like I'm giving you everything and you just taking it and then leaving, then the next person that comes and asks for the same, I'm not going to be the same person. I'm not going to give you all, because I know what's going to happen. So it's been this history of like, have like all every time like doing the same, that when I went in, we had a meeting, and that was also like when I realized that I wasn't there to like show them anything or to like even, like I was there to learn from them. And that was when it came this collaborative and, like this co-creation process, that I was like, I think this is the methodology that I want to use in my work. Because I remember going in and they started asking me all these questions that I hadn't asked myself before going in. And that I was like, wow, like I don't know what to say. So it was, like, there will be like well, like, what are you gonna do with the film? How is the film gonna be projected? Why, like, why do you want to do this project with us? Like, it was like all these questions that, yes, I knew what I wanted to do the project because I was interested in, like how they had this knowledge about dreaming, and that was like part of my research that I wanted to know about. But then they were like, how are you going to film? How is the film going to be? And those were questions that, like, at at that time I was like, it was like my first film, the first time that I was doing field work. And I hadn't, like, I had this vision of the film that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then everything just went to the floor. It was just like a crumble, and I was like, oh, there is no film. Like, what am I going to do now? And then, like, and I think like it really helped me when, like, they started asking me all these questions, and like I knew that, they had this interest of participating, but at the same time, it wasn't going to be something that I do it, I leave, and then I never come back. Like, at that moment, I felt like it was a compromise that I had with the community, that I was gonna keep working on the projects that they wanted to work also. To be very clear when we work on these projects, and like the communication, from, like, from day one, I think it was very clear with like the community that I work with, separate women. And they were clear with me, I was clear with them, and we just, like, build this compromise. And I think it's very important to also like always explain that this type of projects, or what, like, any project needs patience, and it's not gonna happen like in a week or in a month or even 3 months. Like, sometimes it takes years for something that's, like a collective or like a grassroots initiative to, like, to stand up on its own. And always, like, communicate what's going on, communicate what they're, like, what the progress of the projects are, or how the projects are going to be projected. So always have this communication with them. I think it's very important, rather than just, like, um do it and then disappear, right?